Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Arjun Chaudhary. Here are the top stories that we're tracking for you on Friday, the 5th of February. Indian Foreign Minister visits Sri Lanka to boost ties. Chiefs of Afghanistan, Pakistan spy agencies hold talks. And now for all the details. The Afghan and Pakistan authorities are working towards bringing thaw in the ties between the two countries. The chief of Afghanistan's spy agency met his Pakistani counterpart in Islamabad in what is seen as a step towards reducing the trust deficit between the two nations.
The meeting between the head of Afghanistan's National Directorate of Security or NDS, Masood Andrabi, and Pakistan's Inter-Services Intelligence or ISI Director General, Lieutenant General Rizwan Akhtar, was held to explore the prospects of cooperation between the two agencies in fighting terrorism. This is the first time the two intelligence agencies discussed issues since a cooperation deal signed between them in May 2015 was prevented from materializing due to stiff resistance expressed by opposition in Kabul. Though no agreements or decisions were taken between the two heads during the two-hour interaction, the meeting itself is considered to be a major development in bridging the trust gap between the two agencies. The talk was facilitated by United States and was also observed by Chinese officials. This comes ahead of another quadrilateral coordination group meeting between Pakistan, Afghanistan, US and China officials scheduled on February 6th.
Afghanistan has said that it expects to hold talks with the Taliban in 6 months. The country has been keen to negotiate with the Taliban to end the prolonged political turmoil.
Afghan Chief Executive Officer Abdullah said that peace talks with Taliban are expected within 6 months, hoping that a faction of the militia is willing to give up violence. Talks between Kabul and Taliban have been on hold since efforts collapsed last year after it became known that Mullah Muhammad Omar, the movement's founder and leader, had been dead for 2 years, throwing the group into disarray.
There might be groups amongst the Taliban who are willing to talk in give up violence. It should be sooner than 6 months. And how it moves forward and what it takes, nobody can judge it at this stage.
His comments come amid efforts by Afghanistan, Pakistan, China and United States to draw a roadmap for the resumption of peace process. However, Taliban has imposed several preconditions for the resumption of peace process, including their demand for the release of political prisoners. They have also asked to be removed from a UN blacklist under which senior leaders cannot travel freely and their assets are frozen. This comes as Taliban have ramped up their campaign of violence across Afghanistan from the start of the year with suicide attacks and territorial gains in southern Helmand province.
Pakistan is observing Kashmir Solidarity Day across the country, including in Kashmir under its occupation. But people in Pakistan-administered Kashmir who have been denied even their basic rights for the last several decades feel otherwise.
Since 1990, Pakistan observes February 5th as a day of protest against what it calls India's occupation in Kashmir and claims its support for Kashmiris' right to self-determination. But over the years, the day has lost its importance as there is growing resentment among people in Pakistan-administered Kashmir. The years of suppression and exploitation at the hands of Pakistani officials have left them disappointed. People here harbour no delusion about the sympathies of Pakistan with the Kashmiris as they have been subjected to continuous human rights violations in the region. Islamabad, which has kept Pakistani Kashmir under its illegal occupation, continues to treat it like its colony. A part of erstwhile princely state of Jammu and Kashmir, Pakistani-administered Kashmir was captured by the Pakistani army in disguise of tribals on 5th February 1947. People of this region say the limited autonomy granted to the local government is a conspiracy to show to the world that it is a self-governing state. People in Pakistan-administered Kashmir say Pakistan has exploited the region and its natural resources without paying any royalty or doing anything to improve the infrastructure here. The decades of suppression and lack of economic opportunities have pushed about 3/4 of the population below poverty line.
Meanwhile, Kashmiri political leaders are concerned over an alleged move to convert Gilgit-Baltistan into Pakistan's fifth province, saying the proposed move will be a major blow to Kashmiri people who have been fighting for the right to self-determination.
People of Gilgit-Baltistan are apprehensive over Pakistan government's decision to grant provisional status to the region. Kashmiri leaders claim that it is not under the jurisdiction of the Pakistan government to merge Gilgit-Baltistan with Pakistan without the consent of locals. It is also a clear violation of the UN resolutions on Kashmir, they allege. Pakistan portrays itself as a champion of people's cause, but the truth is just the opposite. People in Gilgit-Baltistan continue to be deprived of basic rights. People in the region believe that Gilgit-Baltistan is an integral part of erstwhile Jammu and Kashmir.
ये जो गलतफहमियां लोग पैदा करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, इनका तारीख से कोई ताल्लुक नहीं है। गिलगित बल्तिस्तान के और कश्मीर के ताल्लुकात सदियों पुराने हैं। अब हाँ, ये एक हकीकत है कि गिलगित बल्तिस्तान के लोगों के साथ 1947 के बाद बहुत ज्यादती हुई। मसला कश्मीर के नाम पर उनके बुनियादी सियासी, समाजी और माशी हुकूक सलब किए गए हैं।
Many also allege that the recent decision of the Nawaz Sharif government to make Gilgit-Baltistan its fifth federal province is due to a recently signed $46 billion China-Pakistan Economic Corridor Agreement.
पाकिस्तान सीपैक का जो प्रोजेक्ट है उसके मुताबिक चाइना ने उसको प्रेशराइज किया है कि ये डिस्प्यूटेड टेरिटरी है, तो लिहाजा जब तक आप इसको अपना हिस्सा नहीं बनाएंगे तो हम इतनी बड़ी इन्वेस्टमेंट करने के लिए तैयार नहीं हैं। तो एक मरतबा फिर पाकिस्तान ने कश्मीरियों के साथ वही सलूक किया जो 1947 में किया था।
Gilgit-Baltistan, which was earlier known as Northern Areas, was originally a part of India's princely state of Jammu and Kashmir until its occupation by Pakistan in 1947. Despite the UN resolution mandating status quo, Islamabad carved it out of Pakistan-administered Kashmir as a separate administrative unit in 1970. Even though it is supposed to be a semi-autonomous, self-governing region, most of the real powers are held by Gilgit-Baltistan Council in Islamabad, headed by the Pakistan Prime Minister.
The new Myanmar Parliament, which began its first session early this week, has had a good start so far. The Parliament, which is dominated by NLD lawmakers, is receiving cooperation from other parties as well as the military.
Myanmar is currently going through power transition. The Aung San Suu Kyi-led National League for Democracy, which swept the historic general elections last year, is set to officially start its term in April. Suu Kyi thanked the various political parties and military lawmakers for ensuring a smooth start to the parliament's 5-year term. The parliament has elected Win Myint and Man Win Khang Tan of the NLD party as the lower and upper house speakers respectively. Expectations are now towering on Suu Kyi for fixing social and economic issues that went into disarray during decades of military rule in the country. While Suu Kyi is barred from becoming the president, her NLD party is likely to table an emergency bill next week to suspend a provision that blocks her from presidency. According to the military-drafted constitution, the Nobel laureate cannot become president because her ex-husband was British and her sons are not Myanmar citizens.
Indian Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj on Friday met Sri Lankan Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe in Colombo as she arrived in Sri Lanka on a two-day visit. She was received by her Sri Lankan counterpart Mangala Samaravira. Swaraj is in Sri Lanka to attend the 9th Joint Commission meeting of the two South Asian neighbours. She and her counterpart will co-chair the meeting where bilateral and regional issues will be discussed. Swaraj is expected to address the issue of fishermen and rights of minority Tamils with the top Sri Lankan leadership. During her stay in the country, she is also scheduled to meet Sri Lankan President Maithripala Sirisena and former President Chandrika Kumaratunga. Established in 1992, the India-Sri Lanka Joint Commission addresses matters related to bilateral cooperation. Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. Indian Foreign Minister visits Sri Lanka to boost ties. Chiefs of Afghanistan, Pakistan spy agencies hold talks. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time next week. Have a great weekend and good night.